I have the Dodgers ranked second, and so does Fangraphs. This team is hoping and praying to win the World Series. This this season is a failure if they don't. They had the biggest news of the offseason, signing Shohei Ohtani to a 10-year deal worth $700 million. But that's not really what it is. He's making $20 million in the next 10 years, and the 10 years after that, he's making $68 million. The way it's going up against the luxury tax is $46 million, so the annual average value is $46 million, which is allowing them to make signings. Biggest signing of the offseason? Obviously, Shohei Ohtani. They bring back Clayton Kershaw, Kike Hernandez, Jason Hayward, and Joe Kelly. Other additions were Yoshinobu Yamamoto getting the biggest contract for a pitcher in the history of the MLB without ever throwing a pitch in Major League Baseball. Teoscar Hernandez signed a one-year deal worth, I'm pretty sure, about $20 million. That was some big signings. James Paxton also signed with this team. They lost Lance Lynn, Ahmed Rosario, JD Martinez, but think about it this way. They replaced JD Martinez with Shohei Ohtani. They lost David Peralta, and they also lost nobody else huge. They did trade away Ryan Pepio to the Rays. They traded away Johnny DeLuca to the Rays to get Glasnow, which was another big move they made. They made a move to get an ace in Tyler Glasnow as long as he stays healthy. They also got Manuel Margot, but then they traded him immediately to the Twins. So let's talk about the rotation. Tyler Glasnow, if he stays healthy, is a Cy Young candidate and a potential Cy Young winner. That's the main thing. Can he stay healthy? He's never been healthy for a full season before, ever. Except for, since he's been really good. He's the ace. He's the opening day starter. He would start game one of a playoff series. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the talk around him is just because of the Dodgers. And because he's making a lot of money. People are saying, hey, he's going to be really good. Well, clearly, because he's making $325 million over the next 12 years. The other group of people are saying, hey, he's going to suck because they just want him to suck because he's on the Dodgers. I think the first year he might struggle a little bit just because it happens sometimes. It takes some of the Japanese pitchers a little bit time to adjust. I still think Yamamoto's going to be good and potentially he's going to win Rookie of the Year in my opinion. Then you also have Bobby Miller, who's the projected third starter at this point in the year. I think he could be a Cy Young candidate. He was really good in his rookie year. He's going to improve going into his second year after learning how to play through a full season. I think Bobby Miller is going to be amazing. Then you also have Gavin Stone, who could be a solid pitcher. You also have Michael Grove, who can be a solid pitcher. Ryan Yarborough is in the organization. Then you also have Walker Buehler, who's aiming to come back at some point in maybe June. You have Clayton Kershaw, who's hoping to come back in July or August. You have Emmett Sheehan, who has shoulder soreness right now, but might get put back in the rotation. Then you look at the bullpen with Evan Phillips, Joe Kelly, Ryan Brazier, Alex Vesia, and hopefully Blake Trinan is the hope. I love this rotation. They have so much depth. James Paxton is also a signing that they made, that for some reason he's not projected to be in the rotation to start the year, according to Fangraphs. I really like the depth in this rotation. I like that Buehler's going to be back and Kershaw is going to be back at some point. I don't know about Dustin May, but I really like their top three, even with the injuries they have. And then you add Kershaw, and then you add Buehler. If everyone's healthy, you got Glasnow, Yamamoto, Bobby Miller, Walker Buehler, and Clayton Kershaw as your five. That's an amazing five-man rotation. In my opinion, the best in baseball, along with maybe the Mariners. Their offense, catcher Will Smith, one of the best catchers in baseball in my opinion. A great defender now. He started off not that good. Now he's above average. And an amazing offensive player. At first base, you got Freddie Freeman, who is unbelievable. This is where the lineup is not fair. Your 1-2-3 is Betts, Ohtani, Freeman. I'm going to get to Betts in a minute, but Freddie Freeman, really good. Expected stats say he's going to continue how well he's played. Gavin Lux is expected to play second base now. Maybe some sort of platoon with Enrique Hernandez and Chris Taylor. Miguel Rojas will play some shortstop, moving Mookie Betts to second at some points versus lefties. It's interesting to see that they had so much confidence. Gavin Lux is going to be the starting shortstop, and now they don't have confidence in him. They're going to say, hey, you're coming back from torn ACL. Let's move you to second base, and hopefully you can play there for a full season. Third base is going to be Max Muncy. Defensively, he doesn't look that good there. I trust Max Muncy to be the guy he's been, the strikeout, walk, home run type of guy that, Kyle Schwarber light is kind of like how I think about Max Muncy. Is like, he doesn't quite have the power of Schwarber, but he's like Kyle Schwarber. And then Mookie Betts is the expected starting shortstop. My MVP for this year is Mookie Betts. I think he's going to just be like, prove that he can just do anything. He's going to start every day at shortstop. Some second base starts. He might start in right a couple times. It's crazy how well Mookie Betts is able to just adapt. And I think Mookie Betts is going to be unbelievable at the shortstop position. And it's interesting to see that they had so much confidence in Lux and it just fell apart. In left field, the projection says Teoscar Hernandez. We can see Chris Taylor playing some left, Enrique Hernandez playing some left field. Potentially, you can see Andy Pages playing some left field at some point during the year. Teoscar is really good. I think he's pretty much a beast. And plus, he kind of struggled a little bit last year, but he's going to be in a lineup where he doesn't have to be the cleanup guy. He's going to be batting sixth. And then in center field, you got James Outman, who I think might be a little bit worse than a year ago, outperformed some of his numbers, but I think he's good, and he's going to be in a lineup with a lot of elite hitters, which allows him to get more pitches to hit. Right field is going to be some sort of platoon where Jason Hayward's only going to be facing righties. Great defender, solid hitter. I think he's going to decline a little bit. Since he's platooning, he might be in a better position to stay on the roster and play solidly with Chris Taylor and Enrique Hernandez both kind of platooning in that right field spot. So it's interesting to see. You got Gavin Lux, you got James Outman, you got Jason Hayward. But you got Jason Hayward and Gavin Lux are the two main guys where Chris Taylor and Kike Hernandez are going to be platooning with them no matter what. They're never going to be facing a left-handed pitcher. And then Miguel Rojas will also platoon with some of them, maybe leaving Max Muncy out of the lineup versus a lefty, or even James Outman, or even Ohtani or Freeman to give them a day off. Freeman doesn't really get days off. But Ohtani's the DH. He's not going to pitch this year, so I don't think he's going to lead in WAR by any means. I don't think he's going to be in the top 3 or be an MVP candidate because he's not pitching, and DHs don't really get MVP candidacies. But Shohei Ohtani, the addition of Shohei Ohtani to this lineup is unfair. A lineup of Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, top 3. You have Will Smith, Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez. That's your top 6. A lot of teams would have Muncy and Teoscar in their 2, 3, 4 spots. James Outman's really good. He would be in the top of the lineup for a lot of teams in baseball. Gavin Lux is coming back from injury, and he was pretty solid before. And you have a really good bench. Miguel Rojas, elite defender at short. You could potentially put him in as a defensive replacement and move Betts to right or to second base as a defensive replacement in the 8th or 9th inning of games. You got Chris Taylor and Enrique Hernandez, who are both really good against left-handed pitching, who can play second, third, short. You probably won't have them play short. Left, right, and Kike Hernandez can play some center field. You got so much stuff on this Dodgers team that they kind of look unbeatable at this point. I have them going 102-60, giving them 2 more wins than a year ago. I think losing JD Martinez, adding Ohtani doesn't really add many wins. I think it's the Glasnow and Yamamoto additions to make the pitching staff just completely locked up, and Bobby Miller is going to improve. I think that's it. My over-under would be 100.5, but Vegas says 103.5, and I think I would take the under on 103.5. I think the Dodgers are very good, but they have some injuries, and it might take a little bit of time. I don't know. I just say 103.5. I would probably bet the under on 103.5 for the Los Angeles Dodgers.